Excuse me, sir. What are you doing?
I'm all set.
Did you take that book with you into the bathroom?
What do you want to hear?
Time now for a look at what's on Morning Joe's reading list. Books that you can get and not have to take into the bathroom, including books you can take anywhere and read them anytime you want them. Well, let's bring in right now New York Times bestselling author Ryan Holiday. He hosts the top-ranked podcast, The Daily Stoic, that gets roughly 5 million downloads per month. He's also the owner of The Painted Porch, an independent bookstore in Texas, where he regularly shares reading recommendations with more than 1 million of his followers on social media. That's how I found out about Ryan. So cool. And Ryan, you know, I was thinking yesterday, I go, man, I hope he got a Stoic classic, because I love your suggestions, but I also want you to introduce our viewers into what's changed your life so much. And you start with How to Be Free, a classic of the genre. Tell us about it.
Yeah, this is a little greatest hits of Epictetus, a persecuted man, an enslaved man. Literally, the name Epictetus means acquired one. This is a slave in ancient Rome in the court of Nero, who somehow becomes not only sort of free, but self-actualized. And this is a great introduction to Epictetus, who has been part of the toolkit of leaders and people dealing with adversity for almost 2,000 years now, including the great Marcus Aurelius, who I recommended a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. The next book, man, I mean, just the description of it is extraordinary. Escape. I mean, it's as good as Escape from Alcatraz. This one, though,
yes,
real life. Escape under the Berlin Wall, tunneling through. Tell us about it.
Yeah, even more remarkable, it's a grad student who's digging a tunnel from West Berlin to East Berlin, even though he doesn't have any family on the other side. He's just trying to help people. And the craziest thing is that it was all funded by a documentary crew from NBC News. It's written by a television journalist. You can feel it on every page. My wife recommended this. I should have listened to her sooner. I couldn't put it down. And an absolutely incredible book.
The next book, a novel by an Air Force pilot called The Hunters. Tell us about it.
Yeah. We've got this problem now. Young men are not reading, and they're not reading enough fiction. This is a West Point grad who's a fighter pilot in Korea, and he's writing this sort of autobiographical novel about trying to make ace. This is perfect for young men, for men in your life. It is a riveting read. Salter's one of the great prose stylists of the 20th century. It's literature, and it's fascinating and interesting. I think people will love that one.
The next book, The Choice, an extraordinary memoir written by a 90-year-old survivor of the Holocaust, talking about her journey to inner peace.
Yeah, Dr. Eger, we just lost her on Monday. She was 98 years old. At Auschwitz, as her parents are being sent to the chambers, her mother tells her about the choice, which is effectively Stoic philosophy, that we don't control what happens, we control how we respond to what happens. This was an incredible lady. I was lucky enough to get to know her. This is a beautiful book that everyone needs to read.
You know, when I was going through a particularly difficult time in my life, I actually put the Churchill quote up. And you never really know if a quote's a Churchill quote, but they're all attributed to him, where it said, when you're walking through hell, keep going. Right? And it actually, having that on my mirror helped me after a divorce and a lot of self-doubt and self-loathing. And it keep going. And that's exactly what your next book's about. And I think it's very timely, because I love your videos when you tell people, hey, I know things are chaotic right now. I know things are crazy, but you say, like the Stoics, they will tell you, this has all happened before, man. Don't catastrophize. Do what you can do, but keep going. That's what this next book tells us to do.
Yeah, and so many of my artist friends and creative friends have talked to me about how what's happening in the world is hitting them really hard. It's hard for them to be creative. It's hard for them to focus. you can't give up your art in advance, right? You have to keep going. You have to stay creative. This is a short book. You can read it in an hour. Austin Kleon's one of my favorite artists and writers and designers. And it's just it's a lovely book that reminds us that it's precisely in moments like this that we need to exercise those gifts. We need to make things. We need to express ourselves, and we can't lose that joy and that creative spirit. A lovely book.
So we have time for one more. I'm going to skip down to Bury the Chains. I always, I've known the story of Wilberforce, which is just an extraordinary story, but these are actually those who came before Wilberforce in the abolitionist movement in England, including the author of Amazing Grace.
Yeah, you know, every American knows Johnny Appleseed. We know Robin Hood. Everyone should know Thomas Clarkson. One man decides that slavery should not exist. One man, he writes an essay. He's assigned a college essay. Should a human be able to own and sell another human? And he writes that no, they shouldn't. But he just thinks it's this academic exercise. And then it hits him, what if I'm right? And then the second question, if I'm right, someone should do something about it. And then the third question that I think should inspire all of us, if someone should do something about it, maybe that person should be me. And from that epiphany comes the abolitionist movement, which changes not just the course of the West, but all of human history. One man changes an institution that, you know, stretches back 2,000 years to Epictetus, who we were just talking about.
Yep. We've got to go. We're up against a hard break, but I just want you to hold up the Greek way, if you will. I want everybody to take a look at another recommendation. I'm not going to have you talk about that. This is the Greek way. You need to read it. But I do need you to hold this up. Alex is going to be very angry at me, but every parent needs to hear about your final selection. Outdoor Kids in an Inside World. Give us 15, 20 seconds on the importance of it.
I think the title says it all. This is what we're all trying to do as parents, to get them off their screens, to get them out in the world. Steve Rinella has a great line in the book. You're trying to raise kids that don't say the word ew a lot.
Okay, and you did your part, I saw, by taking your children outside and inside to a Bruce Springsteen concert. Well done,
of course,
sir.
It was amazing.
Well done. Yeah, I know. Ryan Holiday, as always, my favorite part of the week. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and you can check out the Daily Stoic anywhere you get your podcast and support a local bookstore. And you can do that by visiting thepaintedporch.com.